Erudia, an ancient land where gods walk among men. A living, breathing, high fantasy world that we want to put into your hands. But we cannot do this alone. In order to bring you back to what tabletop is all about, combat, exploration, adventure, we need your help to bring it to life. By supporting us on Patreon, you can support this project and the cast of Moonskull, with our promise that we will answer to the only people that matter. You. Legend Seeker. Your legend starts here. Forge your path. Shape your destiny.
Oh, look, you people. Hopefully you can hear me. Cats have not walked on the roadcaster. As far as I can tell, I sound like a normal human being. If I do sound like a normal human being, this is great because I am Frost, totally normal human being, not a vampire wizard. You can invite me in. Totally fine. I'm here to do lore for Legend Seeker, the TTRPG that Erudia is bringing to the masses. I am doing the lore and the world of the Godlands, or the Godlands, which is part of the world of Erudia, where this whole thing is set. And the Godlands is where the gods first walked with the peoples that they created under the purvey of the keepers who created the gods, and where a war took place, a very horrible, horrible war that the world is still scratching its way out from under. The rest of the world does have a lot of things in store. That's all for later books and later things, but there are other continents and other areas and other mysteries to explore. But we're focusing on the Godlands. So, that said, I'm going to have to go get myself a drink because I was so prepared. I ran over here and grabbed food and ate and quickly got down and have absolutely nothing to drink. But I'm like, well, I got to go live. So, hi, everybody. I'm going to check the chat to make sure that I'm not silent. And I am going to go get a drink, and I will be right back. So, you're going to get to see Chair right away. So, I will be right back. But I'm going to be working on the lore of one of the first kings of Fryland, which is why I'm zoomed in on Fryland on the map. I'll be right back. All right. I have a drink. I decided not to get water. I'm having a Coca-Cola with my coffee. I need caffeine. I need all the caffeine. All right. So, what I am talking about today is this is the saga and story of Ogden, the Black Spear. The Black Moon Orc tribe still whisper about him. They call him the Black Spear, fitting his name out. They hate him to this day, and this is nearly almost 2,000 years later is when the normal part of the campaign and everything that you'll be able to play in this world. The present day of the Godlands is about 2,000 years after the events I'm working on right now. So the Black Moon Orcs still spit his name out. They hate him in his memory. They also have other names for him. He was not only called the Black Spear, he was also called Ring Thief and the Breaker of Peace. Now, he was called the Breaker of Peace by not only the Black Moon Orcs, but his own people. We'll explore all that in a little bit. So, we get to have fun. So, the beginning of this is Frostewritten at this point. This is 700 years before the Godkiller War. And Frostewritten is not a kingdom. It is literally just hills, deep forests, rivers, beautiful lakes, and monsters and things everywhere. Because the humans have gotten to the coast. They've gone into some areas. They've gone along the mountains. They've been near the elves. But the majority of the place is wild. It's just completely wild. And there are lycanthropes, there are trolls, there are ogres, there are dragons, there are orcs everywhere. And the humans are slowly but surely finding the best places, like, because humans are industrious. They're like, oh yeah, orcs are like, yeah, we're gonna go over here because there's meat and water. And these people are like, you know, if we built in the corner of this river here, we'd have good protection. We could build a fort. We could defend this place. We have water. We have food. We have fish. We can travel around on the river. This is great. And so the humans started making these little pockets. And the other monsters around there, they didn't like that. So they kept setting upon them. And in this part of the world over here, you can see, if I can zoom in, boop, 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 a place called Dunbour through the Thornwald. This is where I'm starting to tell this part of the story. Göteborg did not exist at this point. It was nothing but a little fortress on a river that kept getting attacked by orcs at this point. So, 7 centuries before the Godkiller War began, the lands that would become Frostewritten were a wild and untamed wilderness of rolling hills and dark forests, loosely patrolled by bands of independent-minded humans in their hilltop fortresses, scattered here and there. Orcs, ogres, and trolls made their home here as well, warring with the bands of humans that laid claim on the fairer portions, but staying clear of the realm of the elves and the Goldvale Wood in the western reaches, because once you got past this river, you would be dealing with the elves, and that is something that the orcs and the trolls and the ogres did not feel like doing at all. It was stupid. And if anybody went over there, they basically never hear from them again. Excuse me. Chat is so quiet today. Everybody's quiet. I know Chrysant said she was going to be quiet because she's dealing with a needy kitten. A little meowing monster. Let's see. This Dunbour is basically the fortress of the Hill of Boor. Boor the Wooden. A warlord. Whoops, why did I capitalize that? Warlord of the Western Hills, named for not only his wooden leg, which he lost, obviously, but also his stoic nature, was a great figure amongst these early marshals. Most of these men called themselves marshals because they were a feared lord. They had a group of men who would follow them, and they were just all referred to as marshals. It's a designation that would go on through all the years, and it's pretty much a traditional title for a warlord in Frostewritten to this day. He was a great figure amongst those early marshals, earning the respect of even the least honorable of the feared lords. Now, these feared lords and these people, and these independent-minded people, you could call them land barons, you could call them pirates, you could call them whatever you wanted. Not everybody who had a fortress out here, who was in control of a piece of land, was a nice guy. In fact, a lot of them weren't. They were out for their own power, and that was it. But he earned the respect of even the least honorable of the feared lords with his unwavering dedication to tradition and strength. Now, it wasn't law, it wasn't order, it was tradition and strength. So he also was not a paragon of humanity, but he was a powerful, strong leader. But he also had a son who we'll be talking about soon. From his fortress in the Western Hills, he was the first to broker a peace with the orcs of the Black Moon tribe. Now, the Black Moon tribe orcs, if you guys remember, are very, very, very... They're not good. Let's go see one thing I wanted to look at really quickly here. Black Moon tribe. Where is it here? Where is it? Yeah. They're fanatical followers of Grix. Unlike all the others, they didn't follow him en masse into the war. Instead, they used their blood magic and lycanthropy to send out assassins and raiding parties against the allied armies. Now, this is taking 700 years before the God Killer War. So Grix was not completely gone. And the Black Moon tribe were not completely into all this evil, evil stuff. They were, however, definitely followers of Grix. And they did have a bit of a bit more likely that they would have lycanthropes in their groups. Just a bit. They've always been rare, but back then they were a little less rare. Just imagine werewolf orc. Yeah. And then imagine them getting blood magic. Gotta get back over to my section here. And if I'm rambling at all crazily today, it's because I am super just burned out and tired from a long day of work and meetings. It's been crazy. Sorry, he just decided to cross the coast by jumping on my head. Hey! You don't want to imagine that? Oh, too late. You imagined it. It's already in your mind. Haha. Orc werewolf. Rawr. All right. So he was the first to broker a peace between the orcs of the Black Moon tribe, treating with them to halt their raids and move back past the banks of the Barg to the east. And that is this river here, going all the way down to Einstock and then filtering down through the Thornwall and past where Woodhall would eventually be. They said, go back across the river. We'll stop raiding into your camps. You stop raiding into our camps and coming into our woods. And they're like, fine, we'll do this. But Boor's son, one of his best warriors, not his best warrior, but one of his best warriors, was outspokenly against this treaty. He was just basically, you can't trust them. They're monsters. Why would you trust them? Because he'd seen what they do. He'd seen up close what they do. Father was more about they're very strong. We make peace with strong people. We'll make peace with them. They will go to their side. We'll stay on our side. This is how things work. A little naive, but also, in character for him. Oops. Of his All right. Sent him away to the east to help guard the banks of the Bark and make sure the orcs stayed on their side of the river. In these days, it was... In these days, the men of what are we going to call this area? What would we call this? It probably should have a name, just an idea of what it was. Delicious. Oh, we're in Fryland, land of fries. Oh, well, if that was... No Frylands. No Frylands. You get no fries, and you'll be happy about it. How would I want to start this part? Because there's going to be an elven woman involved. Hmm. Uh, what would be a good name here? Let's see. We're gonna go with this. Ba, ba, ba. So how is it going out there, Dragon? Huh. Evening. Cold. It's so warm here. It's so weird. It got so warm. It got up to, let's see. It is 27 degrees here. It was negative 23 the other day. Just what did I call this place? Bar. Okay. Oh, the present day location of Göteborg. Okay. So he, in those days, Fry rarely saw the elves, usually only as vague shapes in the dark woods or in their thin boats sailing up and down the coast to sailing to the coast down the Goldville River. But Ogden, son of Bur, had earned the affection and trust of a dark-haired elven hedge witch named Marka, and he often sought her counsel. When exiled to the river to stand watch, he instead traveled to her hidden camp in the hills just east of the Barg, north of the present-day location of Göteborg. So she has a camp, not in Solinor, but up here by Woodhall. I know you guys can't see my cursor really, but somewhere up here. Right. You can sort of see my cursor, kind of where it's moving. I'll highlight this little tree. Maybe I'll highlight a tree. Maybe. Will it let me highlight a tree? Boop. So yeah, you'll see a dancing tree. Whee! Dancing tree. Ah, that's around the area where her camp was. Ta-da! Next week is indeed Christmas. Let's see. Feel like a damn lizard. I'm cold. We're not meeting for Christmas Eve. No game next week. Are there Christmas one-shots? Nah, but Alien will be running. That is something. 6 days and I'm a year older. Bum, bum, bum. That happens to everybody. Don't think you're special, sassy witch. We're all getting old. Shame it doesn't let you ping areas. Yeah, it kind of doesn't. I mean, I could draw something and just show it, but yeah. Shine for all to see. So, this is a tabletop RPG that Erudia, the guy who runs the Moonskull channel here, is writing. And I am working on the lore of the world that is the setting for the RPG. And we're deep in the throes of working on it all. So I have been working on the world. So this is the segment that is here of Erudia. This is the Godlands. There are other continents and things, but this is the Godlands. This is the focus of the book that I'm working on. And I'm currently in the lore about 2,000 years in the past, 700 years before what is called the God Killer War. which is something that happened in the history, and it shaped everything to come in the world. And I'm currently working on the lore for this area. Well before this place became a kingdom, I'm talking about the first king of Fryland. Ice dwarves in order to cut the parts of the mystical lake in the blocks in order to build the pyramids. That never happened. They never do that. No, you don't know anything about those. It's not ice anyway. It's Jello. It's a very jiggly pyramid. So we lost track of time. Yes, happy early birthday, Sassy Witch. You haven't started your Christmas shopping yet? Won't everybody know about the secrets? Well, some people know about secrets, but after writing all this live, I mean, you guys can't see all the text that I'm writing. You see everything in the back. It's all blurred out. We got the basics of the world. And if somebody remembers all this, then good on them for remembering it, because this is, I don't even know how many of these I've been doing. How long have I been doing this now, Chrysanth? I don't even know how many episodes I've done on this now. But I've done hundreds of pages of writing on screen. Anything from the background of the gods to a little bit of a short story that started over here for some background, to character concepts and now the world and all the secrets. But there are a lot of things that I write off screen that are in the book that nobody knows about. So they'll only find those when they get the book. So I'll talk through it. I'll explain things. But then there are a lot of tidbits and a lot of bits and pieces and fun things that are in here that nobody will get to see until they get a hold of the book. This is before the God Killer War. Yes, this is 700 years before the God Killer War happened. So Grix is still at this point, he's a troublemaker, he's mischievous, and he has set out on his path to find out what the Keepers were all about, which will turn into his obsession with power and ultimately lead to the God Killer War. I think it's been a year and a half. Yeah, it's been a while. Yes, that's true. Mythic tier supporters get to make a character if they support through Patreon. If you're a Mythic supporter for 6 months, not only do you get, like, you're going to get a Grix figurine, which is this big, the dragon, the evil guy of the setting, but you get a character in the lore, which is pretty cool. He'll sense it out the window and nag you about your character. Hey, Chrysanth, about that character of yours. But anyway, so what I'm writing about right now is a mythical figure, because the big thing that's been tickling my mind is I've said lots of mundane things, all the basics, all the things that people know about the world, you know, the trade, you know, what goes on at Goldfield, what do they do in Woodhall, what is the major, you know, stuff that happens in Göteborg, how is the city laid out, what is, you know, when people go through Thornwald and all these things and all the other areas, all the basic everything. But now I'm going back and doing some of the deeper lore and like the heroes and anti-heroes and the big figures in the past that people would be like, ooh, yeah, I remember reading about or hearing about Ogden the Black Spear. You know, the orcs call him, you know, the ring thief or the breaker of peace. And you're like, why? Why do they call them these things? Oh, I am currently working on that. But I'm also doing it today while I'm heavily caffeinated and super tired from a long day of work. You're in for a treat today. Woohoo! All the cats are outside, though. I don't have any of the cats in the basement because they were driving me batty. They're lovely, and I think the world of them, but it's almost freezing. So to them, it's like spring, and they've got their heat mats and their heated houses and stuff, and they can go into the upstairs of the house through their cat doors. I just don't know them in the basement while I'm working. Dorks. And I get a ding on my phone. Who is pinging me? Please don't be work. Please don't be work. It's a work message. All right, let's see what they say. Sorry, you have to check. Okay. All right. Okay, got it. All right, that's what I was seeing. Yeah. Hello, Jensen. Another weird D&D game. Well, I don't know if I'd say weird. No, I can't tell them about your person. It's all secret. What's wrong with any of the other ones you play? Well, I technically make up all my own worlds. I don't use modules and I don't use pre-made worlds most of the time. I did when I was younger, when I first started out in D&D and other games and stuff, but most everything I just make myself. This one is kind of a return to some of the true fun fantasy bits and pieces where, you know, there are actually some evil creatures. There are actually some good people, and good and evil do fight. And there's a differentiation between the two. Not everybody in every group is good or bad, but there are tendencies, and there are a lot of tendencies toward evil. Let's just say it's very easy to be evil, and being good is much more difficult. So the good people stand out a little bit. And this world is interesting in the fact that there are the keepers, who are these mysterious beings who actually made the gods, and then the gods who created the people who, you know, the dragons, the elves, the dwarves, the giants, and everybody else who came after them in the world. But still, there are things that the gods don't even know. And that's where things got messy, when one of the gods decided to go find out what the keepers knew and started a war between the gods and mortals. So it was a mess. You are technically a mod. I love being a GM. Yeah, I should probably, you know, I should see if, since I have next week off, technically, I should see if anybody's around. See if I can figure out how to pull together just a quick short adventure or something on, just, you know, on Roll20 or something, or on Foundry. Just for fun. Not televised like there are other things, but you know. Dresden Files is very fun. I enjoy it. It is fun. They met some very interesting characters. And, you know, since it was one shot, we couldn't resolve it all in the 3 hours. But we got a lot of it done. Yeah, we'll say mutual. Let's see. Markov, having studied the orcs and their magic, knew they were dabbling with forbidden secrets. Oops. Let's say monstrosities. We'll say believed. There. That makes more sense. Let's save that. All right. Leave me to this. Good luck. All right, Shine for all to see. Thank you for coming on by. Thank you very much. Healing and be able to make food are my favorite superpowers. Whee! Fantastic Sarcastic. Might be around. Hit me up if you need a player. Will do. Fantastic. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I hope Shine for All comes on back to see how we're getting along and what we're up to. Let's see. Boop. So they discussed his father's treaty and their mutual distrust of the orcs. Mark, having studied the orcs and their magic, knew they were dabbling with forbidden secrets, and Ogden, having fought them more than one of their lycanthrope monstrosities, believed them to be little more than ravening beasts. The uncanny ability to talk like men. Started to scout the orc camps, using her magic to cloak them and his prowess to fell their scouts, making it appear as a wild beast had taken them. Yeah, after a few fortnights of this, I say rashly. Would it be rash? Nah, we'll put it this way. How would I say? How would I say this? You think you're off Tuesday through Friday? Ooh, nice. Kind of healing powers, basically. Healing powers are in anything in Dresden. It's pretty much you decide what you want to do with the power and you try it. If somebody's hurt, you're like, I want to restore a bunch of stuff, and you can basically restore their shifts of damage they have and stress. It's just different rolls for different amounts of power you want to use to achieve different effects. So it's very open-ended, very open-ended. Private game might play Tuesday, though. Yeah, I'm not sure if my private game is playing Tuesday, or I shouldn't say private, my in real life game. We're not playing tonight, but I'm not sure if we're playing next Tuesday. I don't know. I guess I will find out. All right. Weird. Wait, who's weird? Me? Am I weird? No. The spells are weird. Yeah, in that game, it's basically you take stress, and you take shifts of stress, and then you start taking effects like you can get burned out, you can get injuries. They give you permanent little things that I can use against you as the guy running the game. That I can invoke. Like, oh, your leg is hurt, so you're moving slowly. I'm going to use that against you. I'm going to get a bonus on this roll against you. That kind of stuff. But you can heal those by using magical powers, all that fun stuff. Okay, cats. Meow to you too. Yeah, that would be that would definitely be like voodoo black magic kind of there. Oh, gotta get her name right here. I put her name down as the river's name. That's not gonna work. Go with annihilated. Yes. I want to heal people who want to be really uncomfortable. Yeah, we have a person who does that too. And in my Thursday night game, he's not doing it in this game, but he was doing it in other games. Where, yep, it was, yep, made them very, very, very grossed out. They're like, nope, nope, I don't need to be healed. That's fine. All right, you demanded to know why his treaty had been violated. It's not a semicolon, it's an L. Sorry, I'm just looking back through the chat to see who I've missed. I'm still chuckling at trying to seize Scheinfeld to see the comment about being another weird D&D game. Like, well, technically all D&D games are weird. I would say yes. All of them are weird. Uh... what would it be? What is it? Ooh, let's see. Oops. Against S has an S in it. Let's go with S. Dresden Files really does have everything. Dresden Files is kind of like catch-all of stuff. Yeah, it's very interesting. You just wandered in. Yeah, I guess you just came on by. Came on by to say hello. Might have thought it was a gaming stream. Oh, he might have. Yeah, he might have thought it was it. Yeah. It's quite possible. All right. Ah. Okay, thank you there. All right. So let's see. What would be a good name for this guy? Oh, I have this name. Well, I mean, Anglo-Saxon. Yeah, that could work. All right. All right. So there we go. Okay, I got it saved. All right, we'll go with this for that guy's name. Yeah, yeah. Probably comes on around to see if we're like playing something crazy and like bloody and weird, but we're not. We're just writing stuff today. I mean, I could do something bloody and weird. I'm writing up crazy stuff because technically Ogden did. I don't know if I read some of this out loud, but when Ogden and Marka basically started to scout the camps using his ability to kill the scouts while she was cloaking them to make it look like they were taken out by beasts. They discovered the orcs were working towards a plan of conquest, using the peace as a cover to gather their power and forces. They decided to act on the knowledge. Ogden broke the peace of his father, sneaking into the camp of the Blood Moon orcs and killing the matriarch of the clan in the midst of her blood orgy, decapitating her and stealing the great iron collar she wore, which is why he's called the Ring Thief. He fled through the woods and across the Barg. They led the Blood Moon orcs into basically the anvil of the defenders who were on the other bank of the river. Basically ended up annihilating these orcs almost completely. Not completely, but almost completely. But at the cost of a lot of Boor's men, which pissed his father off for two reasons. You broke my peace. You got a bunch of my men killed. So he exiled him, and then Marka and Ogden headed to Solvenor to plan how they could further take their crusade against the Blood Moon orcs to its next level. So basically, I'm going to summarize a couple things because I'm going to skip over this. So I'm going to give myself a couple paragraphs here. So the Elven Smith used the Blood Moon collar that he took from her neck, the magical collar, to forge into a black-tipped spear, pounding it down into a blade that they attached to wood from their special trees to use against the beasts. So this is how he got the nickname the Black Spear, because, well, he's using their own magic against them, basically. YouTube doesn't have a writing streaming category to my knowledge. No, I don't think they do. They have... I don't remember. I thought they had something about just chatting or, I don't know, something like that. Weird. summarizing for myself here so I can get this all down before I forget some of the points. The idea is that going through the elves, they use their great forges to reshape this cursed piece of iron that she wore that gave her, you know, magical powers and power over her blood magic, into the spear that he is using against them. And now clad in elven woodsman leather and cloaks, he and Mark set out to basically start a reign of terror and a guerrilla war against these beasts. But slowly but surely over the next 2 years, he would start gaining more and more followers as, you know, rescued small villages, started gathering power, and set up his own, basically his own place to be. Now, where that is, I have to check because I put something else in the lore that I don't want to stomp on. And I want to make sure that it works with it. Because Berga was a tyrant. All right. Let's see. Dun Berga. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that doesn't help me. We'll go back up one. Berga. Kingsgate. Berga's door. Heading of the tyrant Berga. Okay, that is the dwarven spot. Why did I put this somewhere else here? That's Dunberga. Okay. All right. Hoot, the Spear of Berga Slew's Tyrannical Master. All right. So we don't have to do that. We don't have to put that there. We'll go back to. Oops. Oh, I'm glad that it was not case sensitive. All right. When I heard a cat down here. Benji? Thought you went outside. Nobody's answering me. Must have been upstairs. Okay, must have been upstairs. What did I call it? A hermitage. Cajun Gory. For $5. It's hard to imagine some people actually like to collect old magazines. They must have a lot of issues. It's funny you say that because the old guy in the Dresden Files, he collected a lot of magazines. He was a sort of a hermit. But hello, Cajun Corey. How you doing? Let's see. I'm gonna hold off on writing this next section because this part is going to be a little more secret lore. I'm not going to do all this on stream, but I have all my notes for this next portion. I've already done 4 pages on this guy. Okay. Well, that's good. That was a lot for the first hour of this. I could have used my getting married in a castle joke that X-Ray Girl didn't get. I don't get it either. Wow. Because I didn't hear the joke. All right, I'm going to be doing a little bit of research on some names here. So you don't see me typing a lot. It's because I'm looking up some root words and some names and stuff like that. And also yawning because, you know, I like doing that. Okay, I can't read that page at all. And I don't know how to pronounce that letter. Got it. All right, that's fine. Hey, if you guys want to hear something entertaining, there is an Icelandic singer. Her name is Hafdís Huld. Hafdís Huld. And she has a song called Vampires. She has a lot of good songs. You should go listen to that song. Food Coma is winning. Yeah, Food Coma is winning. Since you asked, I made my wife's dream come true. We got married in a castle. You wouldn't have known it from the look on her face as we were bouncing around. Wah, wah. I can't believe she didn't get that. It's not an X-ray. She doesn't get it. But she's great at determining what's on an X-ray, though. Just bam. Okay. Wonder if, well, let's see. I have another list here. Somewhere in one of my many boxes of things, I have assigned one of her albums because I liked her music. And I got a personally signed numbered copy of, I think, Synchronized Swimmers, one of her albums, I think. Brother is easy to shop for. Your parents are difficult. Hugs laugh, but I don't know what she thinks because she's muted and I've tried to tell her. He's forming a mohawk down his neck. All right, then. He's going to become a little werewolf. Oh. In the music section of Moonskull, I'll go throw this song for you to listen to. She's got a very good voice for singing if you're talking about Hafdís Huld. All right, let's see. I think this is an interesting name, but it sounds horrible in English, so I don't think I'm going to use it. That's a cool word. All right, I'm copying that one over. The thing is, I have to remember when I find cool root words and things, when I put them in another document, to make sure that I like write down why did I like this and what it means and what I'm intending it to mean. Because sometimes I put them in there, I was like, oh, this sounds cool. I'll look at it 6 months later and be like, why did I put this word in here? The hell does it mean? I'll have to go try and look it up again. I'm like, I don't know what it means. Yeah, there's another song on this album. If you listen to Synchronized Swimmers, that's a very good song. She has a lot of weird songs. She has one called Bungalow, which is about Spider-Man. It's about the guy who climbs buildings. There, I threw another one in there for you. Listening wish list now. D&D Warlock announced at the Game Awards. Don't know. Let's see here. He's got his little ball. He's gonna have a mohawk. You're not wrong. I was his age when I started going bald. All right, let's see. All right, I'll put this one in here too. Trying to decide about this breaker of peace. I mean, it makes sense, the breaker of peace, and I might change the wording around. I might give it a specific name, like in their language or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. When you're not here, I'll explore. Yeah, take a peek around so you can find. She's got a lot of songs. Picture traditionally Joseph. Yeah, that bald on both sides of his neck, chest, and legs. Oh man. Well, no wonder he enjoys the heat blanket. Just in time for winter. Is it normal that happens in winter then? For those cats, or is it all year they just go through molting phases? I don't know anything about them. All right, let's see. Followers, he found Seed Power in the Hills. I'm trying to decide if I want to give his place a specific name, because I think where he builds his eventual city should be on the former ruins of where the Blood Moon thing was and where he killed the matriarch, and that's where they founded Göteborg. I think that's what we're gonna do here. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. It's all year they go through it, but they're pretty predictable for the first year. They're born with fur and they go completely naked, grow this pattern, then around 5-7 months bolt again. Wow. The Hugh Jackman Van Helsing version of turning into a werewolf where he rips his own skin off to reveal the monster underneath. Where does that skin go? What does he do with it? It seems like a waste of skin. Come on. Isn't somebody going to, pick that up, save it for later, compost it, eat it? I don't know. I mean, what? I didn't say that out loud. I think I did. Or maybe I did. I did. Oop. Wow, I can't believe that this first song that I listened to hers was like 16, 17 years ago. That's funny. Not only is very cinematic, it's pretty obvious magical quality. Concern me sometimes, Frost? You sure you're not a supervillain? Nope. Totally not. I'm super. Okay, maybe I'm a villain. I don't know. We'll see. I transcend villain-ishness. Okay. All right, so this is a good port here. I'm gonna have to look up the history of something I wrote earlier. This is the only problem of writing history over the span of like 3,000-4,000 or more years. Is like, what did I do in this period of time? I gotta go back and look at it. I gotta leave myself a couple notes here because I have to add some other cool things in the town. Something after. Is something else if that after. Oops. Boop. Sounds Gutenberg. Ruins of. The best part about this Gutenberg is when I grew up on the Mississippi River, we used to go to a town and my brothers worked in the town and we actually used to sell pumpkins and things at farmers market in a place called Gutenberg. It was right on a lock and dam on the Mississippi. There we go. So what else could I put in? I could put something else here about the river too. Well, we're going to leave that like it is at the moment. I'm going to look at something quickly here though, because I wonder if I should rename this. Let's see. Which Marcus? So Woodhall is going to be overlooking the ancient site of the Elven Hedge, which is Marca's hermitage. So it's right here. Okay. Yeah, it overlooks the thing. That's cool. Mm. Yeah, neutral most days. Secretly a goblin sworn to mischief in real life. Oh dear. Dragon Noodle Soup, you'll be happy to know that in my playthrough in Stationaries on Vulcan, on the planet Vulcan, I have been working on my advanced furnace setup and trying to get it set up, and I've only blown the walls off my base and flooded it with like 1200 degrees Celsius fire twice, thereby destroying and melting tons of my equipment. But I have since moved things out of the way and cleared the room out a bit. Because, yeah, and I built the walls differently, so things are a little better off. And I think I have it set up so I'm not going to blow the base up now. I don't know that for sure, though. It's very explodey. Oof, that's not going to work, is it? All right, there we go. Okay. I'm trying to find this note that I had. It's where did I move it to here? No. I gotta find it. Oh my gosh, I make a lot of documents. I may have made too many documents. I'm trying to find my documents in my documents. Maybe it's this one? We'll try this one. No. No. Is it? Nope. Boy, I wish I remembered which one of these documents I put this in. I had a good note because I'll occasionally make a note of something fun that I think might be a cool little tidbit or something to put in a location or put in a bit of lore, but I can't find a place for it at the time. I'm like, oh, I'll just put it in this document. And now I'm going through the paragraphs going, it's in my brain as something that would work here. But finding it. No, that's not it. All right, let me move it over here once. You're ever present? No! Kaboom! Talk of explosions and atomics arise! But has he taken the oath of goblin chivalry? There's an oath of goblin chivalry? Who knew? Ever present. Finding a slow flake in the avalanche. Kind of, yeah, exactly, Sassuich. I'm like, it's in here somewhere. Well, I'm just making a note to myself that I have to find it in this document. I was like, look for note about this. Dang it. Because it was something having to do with Woodhall, and I'm like, this would be perfect for the Hermitage or a callback to the Woodhall. It could be a cool little elven thing. All I remember is it was an elven thing because there's an elven item or a relic or a thing here in the non-elven lands. Like, crap, I don't remember what it is. So I'll just have to go through and search. I'll see. Because I searched for the word elven, and I'm like, of course I didn't put the word elven in it. That makes sense. From another live play channel. Okay, got it. Never heard of it. Yeah, I searched for elven, couldn't find it. And I'm like, relic? No. What the hell did I call it? I was probably trying to be clever and not classify it as a certain like a race's like item or something, but I'm remembering it is something elven. So at least I looked through and I searched for the numbers 36. I didn't find anything, so I haven't gone to Erudia yet. So there. I haven't named everything multiples of 36 or 360001 yet. Oh man, I'm just sitting here listening to some of these half to sold song and I forgot about Tomoko. It's one of the oldest songs that I think I know that she did. It was like 20 years ago. And it's basically her being goofy about her friend Tomoko. Whoever it is, some made up friend that is the guy who or the girl who can never do anything wrong. All right, so here we go. All right, so then. I think maybe, oh gosh, I don't remember. Is it Synchronized Swimmers or 30 Paper Cup? There's two different things that I have most of her albums, but I think one of them was. I found the song I was looking for though. Here, I'm gonna put a song in the music channel. Dragon, you may like this one. It's a very Icelandic song. I don't even remember what the song's about. He said, P.O. sword. It looks like a sword with a very long blade. Folder 2. Whoop, is that you? Nonsense was yes. The folder name was an Erudia joke. Folder 2. Woohoo! Cards going up in price is good. I was happy to see that the couple of shares at Tesla that I bought just as a test to see how, stock worked, because I don't normally invest in just plain old random stock, went from like $250 to like 400 something a share. And so it's been a 60% return on everything. I'm like, boy, I wish I had had enough money to buy more than a couple of shares. That's just, woof. All right. And if I put here. All right. Boom. So, yeah, you should sell that card now. before it goes down in price. Right? Right. Or hold on to it and hope that it never decreases in price again and just keeps going up forever. I don't know. Who would pay $2,400 for a card? I don't even know what kind of card it is. I'm assuming it's the collectible card game card and not like a football or a hockey card or something. I lead an interesting life. That's a word for it. Ha! It's because I enjoy many things. I meet lots of weird people, and all kinds of strange things happen to me. Someday I'll tell you about the time when we were live action role playing vampire in the university memorial union, and then out at somebody's house in the woods. That was an interesting time. And now my music totally went into a completely different place. I'm listening to Tori Amos now. Started at 1,300, dropped to 600 when I got it. Now worth more than when I started. Nice. Tell me I didn't kill someone and bury him in the woods. I will not tell you that. You're right. Nope. Just had some interesting interactions with people. He was role-playing a vampire. Why would he bury anyone? Yeah. Seriously. Circus is... Oh, I misread your sentence. I was like, circus is very interesting. I'm like, person. Circus what? I'm like, aha! Circus freak. Got it. See? I figured it out after a second. All right, so I've got a name for this guy. I've got a name for the Hermitage. I don't remember what the thing was I was going to add, but I have a note for that. I have notes to myself to add 2 more things to Göteborg to harken it back to, you know, its original origins as Agen's, I guess, stronghold on this side of the Barg. And I'm trying to think. I'm trying to decide what I want to have happen to him, because he is going to become the king of all of Freiland. It'll be a smaller, it won't be the entirety of Freiland. It'll expand later, but he is going to be culminating in a huge fight against these Blood Moon Orcs, which is going to find them driven all the way back up into the wastelands of the north. Because in what I'm planning on having happen is he's fighting them, he's fighting against them, they're making headway everywhere, and then they strike back in a very horrific way, which just breaks him into or out of his sort of like restraint, human restraint, and he just goes ham-fisted on them and just obliterates them. And basically drives half of them into the sea and killing them, and the rest of them up north into the mountains. And they, to this day, hate him and his name. He is cursed to them. Cursed. And his people, the Freilanders, are like, he was amazing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did some really horrific things. Well, he's mostly amazing, right? Right? That's what we remember. The sex thing, he was role-playing a vampire, his girlfriend at the time. No, my girlfriend at the time was not playing in this. She had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. Yeah, fine. Just don't think about it. He was totally a nice guy. He was nice enough. He was what we needed at the time. Right? Right. Oh, let's see here. What? Why did this? Well, that's not going to work. Okay. Okay, there's that. Oh, that's not going to show it. Here, wait, where is it? There we go. There. Christmas song for everybody in the music section while I'm listening to it. Jumping all over the place here. All right, this is the Lumberjacks and Marcus Hermitage. We're gonna go back down to Wild Untamed Wilderness. Okay, I think I put a line in here about Agen. I'm making a note to myself in here. Well, not a note to myself, but that while his father saw him as a disgrace after breaking the peace, many in Bear servers were heartened by young Agen's actions against the orcs. Agen, let's see. Despite these weak voice support, he was unable to remain and traveled to Solinar with Marka, where they planned their further crusade against the Blood Moon orcs. Okay. Okay. Guess I'll put Elvin and capital E. What are you guys saying over here? Vlad the Impaler, Richard Lionheart, people claim they're evil in a modern context. What they do is largely necessary for the time. No longer over the 10K mark for subscribers. All right, so see, we got this going here, but yeah, so he saw the truth of what the orcs were doing, and who knows, some people might have said, you could probably still could have dealt with some of the orcs, but he was just like, no, monsters, kill them, bury them under the ground, and that's where he went. What's going on here? Why is my machine being goofy? Oh, shoot. Chrysanth, I was going to actually use my gold thing today and send it to those guys, but I forgot. Because I forgot to look. Pretties every now and then. Subscriber rate fluctuates a lot. Just now, you guys can actually see it. Yeah. Rapidly subbing and unsubbing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's even my channel's tiny and it'll go up like 2 or 3 or 5 or 7 and down. And like, okay. I just need everybody who's subbed over to Moonskull to go sub to me on YouTube. That'd be great. If you guys could just all go, just do that. It'd be fantastic. So, no hurry. Just go do it now. What am I doing on time here? 6:40. All right. I wonder if I think I'm going to rough in the rest of these like story beats for this thing. Let's see, the banner of his black spear. I gotta check and see what year I have this guy alive. Sorry, I've been quiet. I'm in the throes of a cool idea here. Hubris. Oh, how about I say that right? Captured in an epic poem, the end of the Black Moon is the story of hubris, everyone's tragedy. Okay. We'll put that. Well, let's put both these lines in that. There we go. All right. What are you guys saying over here? Where the bones of these lands, sacrified lands, and these bones don't return to land. Who needs bones? Shame on me. Shame on me. What did I do? Wait a minute. I missed something. Not until you're a VTuber. No. 12 subs on YouTube and stream once a week. Guess you could say I'm kind of a big deal. You are. I should probably stream more often, but I don't have breasts, so I don't get subs. An annual cleansing ritual tradition, maybe. Good. Dawn of mutilation. Hello, by the way. So the thing that I just wrote up is the reason that he went kind of like ham-fisted and basically unleashed hell upon the orcs, because some pretty horrific things happen to people around him. Once he is they're united under the banner of his black spear, and they make plans to solidify their strongholds. Things happen, and then he rides forth with his host, completely abandoning Göteborg to the man, just taking every man and boy that can fight with him on horseback, emptying out Dunbur and the other fortresses, and taking his fortress just in a black tide across the lands, and just obliterating the orcs, showing absolutely no quarter. Just frothing with rage, half of them driving them down into the sea and destroying them, and the rest forcing them up north through the pass into these lands up here. And that's why the Edda of the Black Moon was written for him. And specifically, my cats are going crazy upstairs. What are they doing? What are they doing? My cats. The nuts. They are nuts. Let's see. Go back up to Fryland. Where is Fryland? Why is it not? I really hate it when sometimes it won't. All right, let's try this again. 82 results, but show me the results. Show me the results. I don't like it when it. Sometimes this thing breaks and it just won't show me the results, and I have to go manually through. I don't know why it does that. This is Fryland. This is the capital. This is King's Gate. Fryland. All right, let's just go up. I don't know why. It's not finding. This is the entry I wanted. That's all I wanted. It's right there. And the beast of the Black Moon tribe fell before the spear of Agen. We're gonna say, oh my gosh, cats. Earlier, I went up there and I was trying to figure out why they were complaining so much. My cat Graham, one of the orange cats, he and Rusty are just the brilliant. Rusty's a sweetheart, Graham's a sweetheart, but sometimes together they're the dumbest duo in the world. That wicker basket I have that's like a pedestal going up to a big bowl with a hole in the front, and it had the pillow in it, but they ripped the pillow out. They will knock it over. And one of the cats will be sitting under the wicker thing like, oh, I'm trapped. This is perfect. I want to take a nap. And then they're like, I can't get out. And another cat will sit on top of it and pin him in there. I went up there and two cats were sitting there like putting their paws in, like fighting back and forth. And he's inside like, people are attacking me. And he's like reaching out, trying to attack them. And it was his brothers just trying to get him out. So I opened it up and he's like, rah! Oh, hey, you guys. And they just went off and napped. I'm like, guys, they're so stupid sometimes. So I don't know if they're still doing that. I hope he's not trapped under the damn thing again. Dork. Orange cats. Crusade. Yeah, basically he does. I'm going to be on something possibly because I'm not playing tonight with my friends in real life. We're not doing our game because people are busy and some are out of town. Woohoo! Face and voice for radio. Jensen, you and me both. Yeah, so basically the matriarch, the new matriarch after the old one was killed, sent her assassins to not just kill Marka and the elven hedge witch and the children, the half-elven children that she and Agan had, but poisoned them with horrific blood magic, so they died over the period of time in agony, and there's no magic or anything that they knew of that could fix it or stop it. So he basically got to watch his family die in front of him because of them. Beautiful, hey? So he got a little upset and went a little crazy and decided to kill all of them that he could get. Yeah, all ginger cats share one brain cell. You are right. Does he weigh a gram? No, he is called Graham because he was the color of a graham cracker. But he since he got older, he changed color and he's much more orange now. Now, Tater, the other orange cat who was kind of baked potato colored and looked like baked potato because he was a plump cat, still looks like that color. So he's kind of like, he's not quite a ginger, but he's sort of a ginger. You could have something like a pinata for the kids, pop the bad guys for candy, and some running sports for the older. Yeah, this is 700 years before the God Killer War, which then the main part of the story where people are going to be playing in this world is 1300 years after the God Killer War. So this technically, the story I'm writing is the story from 2000 years ago. It was the dawn of this kingdom in its earliest forms. Because it became this kingdom. They had, hundreds of years of freedom that slowly became like, oh, the God Killer War is starting. Then Agrium came in and was like, if everybody comes under our banner, we've got you. We're going to do this. And then Agrium basically came into the Godlands from the island, and they become the Empire of Agrium, and they united everybody in the Godlands except for a couple of kingdoms who didn't partake against the forces of Grix. Then when the God Killer War started going on long enough and they realized they didn't have the power to defend everybody anymore, they started pulling back to their island, leaving everybody else in the lurch, which still left a bad taste in the mouth of the Frylanders because they're like, we gave up our sovereignty so we could fight side by side with you. At the end of this war, you abandoned us. So people from Fryland do not like people from Agrium. People from Agrium are like, those Fryland people are they just don't understand how things work. So they don't have the exact same reputation that the other people do, but they have their own take on it. See, some of my cats are really smart, but when food's involved or when their baser nature takes over, they're just like, I don't care if I understand what you're saying right now. I want snack. I want thing. I want whatever. Dorks. Meth. When are you going to be on meth? Cream. Ancient history of the gods didn't do anything to try and stop the fight between the people in New York. Nope. The some of the gods like Zirath was like, get him, fight, come on, fight. Grix was totally on board with his Blood Moon orcs, but he was kind of busy working on other projects, if you know what I mean. Kika is involved, and I'll be writing the Kika part kind of off to the side because that's a little more secret. But yeah, the gods, when they were getting to this point, they were starting to be a little less involved in some of these things because it was, the 700 years leading up to the war. They were a little more concerned with like Grix being kind of a little interesting. Some other gods reaching apotheosis and then being like, who's this guy now? Maybe we should work on the rules of this god club because we don't want too many weirdos becoming gods. And Grix managed to get a couple of people through the system because Grix was working the angles. So yeah, there's a whole lot of fun stuff going on that kept everybody busy. Hello, Erudi. I've been working on the old lore of the founding of Fryland and Ogden, the Black Spear, the Ring Thief, the Breaker of Peace, and the first king of Fryland, 700 years, roughly, before the God Killer War. And all the horrible, horrible things that he did to the Blood Moon Orcs after they did horrible things to him. So yeah, lots of tragedy, lots of blood. And a black spear made from an iron ring that used to be around the neck of the Blood Moon matriarch. So yeah, all kinds of fun. There's even a blood orgy in here. So there you go, Erudi. It has all the parts that you'd ever want. The War God, yeah, I have him in here most of the time being like, no, go ahead. Get him. Get in there. Slap him on the butt. Put some dirt on it. Get back in there. All right. Yeah, we'll save that one right there. How are we doing on time here? Oh boy, it's okay. I misread that. I thought I had 15 minutes left. I have 4 minutes left. Well, fine. We're gonna be wrapping it up here then. I made myself a whole bunch of notes. I've got some stuff in here that can kind of go a few different ways. I got to write up the specifics from all the bullet points I made. I wrote like 4 or 5 pages of stuff, but the last parts were all the bullet points and story notes. But now I have the origin of Dunbourg, the origin of the area by Woodhall, the origin of Göteborg, and the fact that it would have been that there were half-elven children in the lineage of the kings of Fryland, but there aren't because they were killed by the orcs. So the lineage is mostly pretty much still human there. The spoilers, Ogden doesn't have any more children after this. Hashtags everywhere. We have a London Bridge type children's song that is passed on the ages about his reign. Could. Right now, we have the Edda of the Black Moon. I think there could be a kid's rhyme that comes out of it. Let me think about that. I think that would actually be pretty fun. Why? Why, game? Why? It's weird. There we go. Now it finds it. And sometimes the search function just is just crap. I'll just say it out loud. Just crap. In Word here. Fealty by proxy. All right, we'll put it at the end here. Yeah, we'll do like, you know, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. Something fun like that. Cool. All right, and it's going to be sung by that dog from Little Nicky with the, when he snores, it's the little children saying la 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 la, which is absolutely horrifying and creepy. No? Maybe. All right, let me set that. And we will put a note on that. Woo! All right, I'm going to get the heck out of here. Thank you all for coming on by. Enjoy Seasons of Ghosts in, what, an hour? And I will talk to you all Thursday, because I don't think we have a Wednesday thing this week. I don't think. But Erudia will correct me, or Chrysant will, if I'm wrong. So, all right, I'm going to get the heck out of here. I'm going to go do something else. And you guys have a great night. I made it through without food coma taking over me, Chrysant. So there. Thank you, Dark Black Coffee.